The name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich, and I'm going to be your host. Tonight's guests are Alex Valderana and Jon Caballero. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, so I've had the honor of working with Alex in the past, and I guess did you work on any of the projects that we worked on together?
No.
No?
No. You were in Green Eyes, weren't you? He was in Green Eyes. He
played,
yeah.
We actually worked together in Green Eyes. Yeah,
Ingrid's father in the story.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
but we didn't work on the same day.
Not the same day.
Right.
No.
So that's it. So where are you guys based out of? Where do you come from?
I'm originally from Chile, but I live in Long Island, and that's where I reside right now.
Right.
But yeah.
And so, how did you guys meet?
I went to an audition for a Batman fan mockumentary that he was doing based off of a film that he did in college, and I think we were talking more about the character of Nightwing and that than we were talking about the audition or whatever, and we just kind of said we should write a script, and then years later here we are.
So actually, how did you guys? So you met on an audition, but you were doing films before then. You were making films.
I mean, I went to Hofstra University for film. I mean, for the first few years there, I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of wanted to major in print journalism. That didn't really turn out, and then I was like, oh, I had to take a media course as prerequisite for the media, and I took it, and I was like, oh wow, this film stuff here. And I've always been a fan of filmmaking. Like in junior high, I wrote like a film critic blog and stuff. At least on the newspaper there, and it was like I've always had this profound love for it, and like I was much into it. So I was like, okay, I'll take this and see where it goes, and I stuck with it. I actually didn't finish there, but like I stuck with filmmaking after there. I did films during that time at Hofstra, and the film he's referring to was a film called Batman Hot House, which was a fan film done in 2009. It didn't turn out very well. It was pretty disastrous, but so I was going to do a mockumentary poking fun of what happened behind the scenes in Hot House, because like everything that could go wrong on the film set occurred during Hot House. It was like a tour de force of like all problems. And he walked in, and like he looked very much like the character Nightwing from the Batman comics, and we just began talking about that. And then eventually we began mapping out an idea to do a fan film focusing more on Nightwing, because there wasn't at the time, now there's like everything, but at the time there wasn't much attention to Nightwing at all.
So I'm sorry.
Well, we were talking at first, when we first started this idea, we were focused on a fan film, and then it grew into a web series. Right?
Were you both interested in like comic book heroes?
Well, we grew up both. I mean, I mean, how do you not want to like Spider-Man and Captain America, Batman? Obviously,
Superman.
But yeah. So of course you grew up with comics as a kid. Right. We didn't have a lot of PlayStations at that time. We weren't so video game connected. So. We had to read comics. So, and you also, you're part of a larger community of movie makers, and I guess also I've worked with you and Jack was a guest on the show in the past.
Yeah.
Do you usually use basically? It seems like Jack and I guess yourself have a group of actors that you could really rely upon at any time to really bring into your different films and.
I think
cross-pollinate and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jack and I have had the luxury of working with lots of people and staying in contact. And I think in this business, to have the right people around you is such an important part, And in the indie filmmaking world, it's very, very hard to have that right group of people around you. And Jack and I both have, our networks cross over certainly, but we definitely use a lot of the same actors. We definitely like trust each other.
And you work in each other's films as well.
Yes, we help each other out all the time.
That's great. And I think that's one thing that's very unique about the filmmaking, the indie filmmaking community is that everyone really helps each other out. It's like it's a warm, open community.
Yeah.
And even though I'm sure there's some friendly competition also within it.
Yes, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. So after that fan film that you did, when did you make the decision that maybe you'd go, even a step further?
I think not long after he auditioned. For whatever reason, I was still in school at this point, and the prospect of doing the film he auditioned for, which was called Child of Chaos, didn't work out. I was like, you know what, I want to do something else. I want to do something Nightwing-based, and like, why not just talk to him about that and see where it goes? And we had several producers attached at a certain point. I mean, now we've come so far since that time, but it was around that time that we began seriously discussing it and applying scripts and getting the right production team together and everything. It's been quite a journey. It's been almost 3 years working on this.
It's been almost a nightmare to get the right. I mean, just to get the right production people. Right. People just drop off. We don't make any money on this, right. So it's like we can't afford to pay for what we get. When we get people that we like, we really try to stick with them, right. And it's really hard to keep the group together for no money. Right. But we've reached that point where, as far as for the production and everything goes, there isn't going to be a change. Right. Everybody's locked in.
Well, that's wonderful.
People love what we're doing.
Right.
We love what we're doing.
And it seems, if anything, more people currently are being drawn into your...
I think now. I don't think it was always the case. Yeah. But now, because we have, I think, a little bit more to show for ourselves, right. There's a lot more proof in the pudding, so to say, that we have, that we're legitimate, that we offer.
So you have a web-based show right now.
It's a web series.
When did it start? I mean, when did it actually go from what was the big leap? I mean,
it was 2010. It was really the main year we started hitting the pavement on it.
I say when it was really, really definite was when
did it become a web series?
Well,
itself,
I mean, not just a web series, but I mean when your focus was this is what I'm going to do. It's going to continue. Maybe a web series or maybe the web series. But when you knew that you were going to do something with this project,
I think when we met Batman. When we met Batman.
The actor who plays Batman in our series is a friend named Abe Dans.
Oh, okay.
He's also a costume designer who worked on a costume for the second season of our show, and he portrayed Batman. We met him in fall to late summer 2010, I think, yeah. And with that, I mean, then we really began lifting off. We built the first few stories or the first episodes around him, because the story is that Batman leaves Gotham City in the hands of his protege Nightwing to handle, right. But we had to handle his exit, and Abe did a wonderful job. And once we met him, it became more Rio. We also met through them at that time Anthony Sambucos, who's a composer. He also played Superman in the film with you as Clark Kent. He's a great guy. But so we met both of them, and Abe really was he pulled his weight on the first few episodes, and then now episode 3 came out, and then Johnny steps in as Nightwing, and here we go. We're moving forward now, but it all builds to Nightwing.
See, I'm old school. I just remember Batman and Robin.
Right.
So what happens? Basically, is Nightwing the replacement for Robin?
You want to handle that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. At the time, Robin is moonlighting with a team called the Teen Titans while being Batman's partner. And they're kind of like the teenage Justice League and whatnot. Batman doesn't really like it, so he's like, you can either do this or that, but this is not, being Robin is not a part-time job. Right. It's Batman and Robin. And Dick Grayson basically says, no, I don't want to do that, and Batman says, you're fired. Wow. So Batman fires Nightwing, Robin at the time, right. And being lost, Dick Grayson really doesn't know where to go. He goes to Metropolis to actually have a conversation with Superman, who then goes ahead and gives him a legend of his Kryptonian world and a hero of his world of sorts, right. And that character was named Nightwing. So I think that's the turning point where Dick Grayson says, I want to be a new superhero. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going out on my own.
So, wait, Dick Grayson is Nightwing? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well,
yeah. He's the first Robin.
For thought.
It's a little-known fact. I mean, once they hear that name, because they've seen Burt Ward play him in the
right.
60s, and Chris O'Donnell.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Connection.
Because I used to read comic books constantly when I was a kid, but I'm 57 years old. I gave it up. But I have a nephew who's 41 who keeps on reading them, so it's still amazing.
Right.
So how many episodes was in your first season, let's say, when you first did it?
Well, we did these 2 interlude episodes, which are smaller than the main episodes, but they lead into. We built up to episode 3.
Right.
After episode 2 ends, there's these 2 bookend episodes. One called The Visit, which deals with Alfred having a discussion with Dick Grayson about why he should come back to Gotham,
right.
And the final session, which deals with Helena Bertinelli, played by Diana Trickus, who is this.
Stars.
Well, up to episode 3 first, though. who's this also this vigilante called the Huntress, having like her therapy session that goes bad, and like once episode 3 hit, so I guess total it's like pretty much like almost like 6 episodes really is what it is, but
and
we stopped. I mean, we
and
ended
when did that end? When did the first
last fall? I mean, because we had the Indiegogo campaign to raise funds to continue Nightwing. It went all right, and then we just decided to go with season 2 because it just seemed logical. Like the last episode that we filmed was a good like jumping off point into where it would be now, more about Nightwing and his struggles versus like there's no Batman. Right. There's more about his world and how he deals with the problems, and that's some people felt like that should have been what it was about from day one, but this is how it is now.
So you're entering into season 2 at this point?
Yes, our second season.
Okay, and you brought a clip, right, for season 2?
Yeah, I prepared a clip for you.
Okay, so you know what?
Like it. I think the fans will like it.
Would it be okay if we show it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's a little clip from season 2 of Nightwing.
Whatever happened to Gotham needs Batman?
She does. But sometimes, so does the world.
So you want me to take over Gotham? If I do, it's on my terms. I'm not putting on that cape and cowl again.
You've got Gotham. Your terms. Coordinate with Oracle. You'll have aid from the birds of prey.
Am I interrupting something? Thanks for still believing in me.
I never stopped.
Getting hell, Bruce.
Exciting is that? That is like awesome, man. It's excellent.
Thank you. Thanks.
Wow.
Good
You're
stuff,
a superstar, dude.
My old boss, I called him up. He goes, "Oh, I'm talking to a superhero." I'm like, "Wait, yeah."
So I got to ask you a question because I know I played Perry White in your Superman show,
sure,
but that didn't really do anything for like my sex appeal. Have women have women looked at you differently since you've been a superhero?
Well, I think it's a lot different because now I say I'm a 30-year-old man in tights playing a superhero. They're like, "Oh, from comic books," and I'm like, yeah.
But it's cool, right?
It does something for my sex appeal.
Right.
Some people like he's a cult favorite. So, yeah, I mean, I think chicks dig her or dig him, and yeah.
That's it. Why not? I could think of worse things to be than a superhero.
I've done a lot of really bad movies as far as acting goes.
Yeah, but you've done some good ones like Green Eyes, right?
Wasn't
that was a good movie?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see that one again as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jack was amazing too. I think he was a really, really talented director.
And there was another good actor in that. You were hilarious in that movie, Alex. I'm telling you, that scene.
My famous scene, yes.
Oh my God, what a scene! Everyone's got to get a chance to see it. I mean,
Thank you.
It was really great. Not just the scene, but the whole movie. The movie was good.
Jack's a good friend, and he did a tremendous job directing it, writing it, and I worked on it also as assistant director, and I remember like helping out on set too. Like it was a great experience for me.
And both of you guys are really good to work with, and you were very appreciative of your actors. And maybe one day we'll work together on a project.
Thank you for that.
Maybe I'll go to Gotham or go to Metropolis and have to.
That's it. You got to
go to the Daily Planet.
Go to the Daily Planet. So. Can we talk a little bit about Superman? I mean, that was a project.
Day in the Life, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Day in the Life was a film. You may not know much about it, right? A lot of people don't even know that it's out there, that it happened.
Right.
But it was a film that starred you as Perry White, Archie LaRay was Lois Lane, Anthony Sambucos was Superman, and Edward Chinlin was Jimmy Olsen.
It was great.
Zach Abramowitz also played Lex Luthor, he's a producer on this project.
Right.
Hi, Zach. And he also plays a mobster named Antoine Rotelli in Nightwing. But yeah, it just dealt with Anthony. Had the idea. It was really his brainchild, and I just developed it. But he wanted to do, like, what would a day in the life of Superman be like? Right. And like, because there's a Superman competition. I think that from an actual metropolis. I think in Iowa or Idaho. I don't want to.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But it was going to be entered in that competition. It had to be under like a certain amount of time, under 20 minutes or whatever. So we did it. It just like has Clark waking up. He goes to work. The running gags. He keeps finding ways to leave conversations or something. So he's getting yelled at by Perry White. He's talking to Lois. They're in a cab on the way to like a LexCorp meeting or whatever to cover for the news story, and he finds a way out every time. And that's the running gag of it. And Lex Luthor, he's presenting this new robot at like a park, and the presentation goes badly, and like he's all pissed and stuff. It is cute. It was funny.
Right. Well, one thing I will say that I'm really honored to be associated with the Perry White on IMDb forever and ever.
Yes.
What other projects are you involved in currently?
Currently, I just did a movie called 79 Parts. I play a cop. It's not the biggest role, but it's cool. I get to be in. It's shot in the old school Brooklyn, 1970s, with the producer Audrey Lorray. Lorray. I always pronounce her name wrong. But yeah, she got me. It's directed by Ari Taub. It has Ryan Callahan, which is a new guy that I got in. He's probably going to be part of my
core
world.
group. Right?
Yeah,
That's it.
Really nice guy. And it just takes place in the 1970s. Like I get to play a cop. I get to be around old school Plymouth Furies. I have like
That's nice.
the old
It's pretty cool.
six-shooters.
It's like when I was a kid.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
That's it.
But I mean, there's a few other things I got going on. I've been developing a script for another Nightwing fan project. It's one night with Batman and Nightwing as doing like detective stuff. They're not doing superhero stuff. They're trying to solve a crime, and it has some really good villains in it, which I like to see. The Penguin comes in, and Chris Clark's going to be playing the Penguin,
Cool.
which Bird of Prey is actually one of his. He's now in our world as well, and yeah, but I've been doing a lot of producing.
So the future for Nightwing. I mean, how many episodes do you think you'll be doing in the future?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a hard question to answer. I mean. It's a hard question to answer because I think I didn't expect when I started the series. I don't know what I really expected, but I did not expect it to be. It was. I can't emphasize how long of a road it's been to get to the point where we are now, where we have a Facebook page that has over 1,000 fans, where we have several. We're able to talk on shows like this about the show that didn't always happen.
I'll tell you, you have some beautiful women on the show. Again, I
hear this a lot.
Isn't watching, but it's really. I mean, the outfits and the excitement and all this stuff. It's really like you got a very good-looking cast.
Thank you.
And
I should have been there when we casted it.
Oh well, and you're a good-looking guy too. I mean, the whole cast is like a cast of it's young, good-looking people.
And I think the best part about the cast is that we really have, like John said, I mean, we've formed this group now. I feel like it's like a Justice League type group where everybody I really feel like I can trust. Everybody brought into the fold is someone I feel can tackle the part, but also they really care about the project. Everybody from Catwoman to Huntress to whoever else is involved. It's great. But as far as like how many episodes we're going, I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for that.
Well, we have a lot of stories still that we have to kind of address.
We just began season 2. Like we wrapped production maybe a month ago on the first shooting weekend, which we've covered a lot of ground of like the first 2 episodes.
But I know you guys are young and all this, but eventually, with the talent you have and in acting and filmmaking, eventually you're going to want to make some bucks with this stuff, right? I mean, it's like, and how do you do something with a project like a Batman or a Nightwing, and be able to convert that into a money-making venture?
Well, kids, you can't.
Go work for Warner Brothers.
It's a nice dream that I mean, I love this project,
right?
But I can say that obviously there are other projects I want to do.
Right.
That I keep myself involved in as many other facets of this business as I can.
Right.
I mean, I've gotten more into acting recently, but I also do photography. I edit. I work cinematography.
If I could say, I love your photography. And
thank you very much.
And you took one picture of me, and that's on every place in social media that picture is on. It's like the greatest picture. I love that picture.
Thank you. But I definitely want to pursue other things. I mean, there's no way to make any money off of this. I mean, to me, it's just about getting our names out there, like Jon Caballero, Alex Valderana, Zach Abramowitz,
that's
everybody
easy for
involved.
You to say. That's an inside joke.
Everybody in the project, for every actor, every crew member, the cinematographer, everybody, to get their names out there, as much exposure as we can.
And that's one thing about you and also Jack and this whole group of young, talented, you know,
Team perseverance.
That's it. It's good, and everyone pushing for each other, you know,
Yeah.
and help and pulling for each other. It's great, man. It's just it's a wonderful environment. So so other than Batman, what are the projects? I'm talking about in terms of film. Do you have any specific projects?
For me right now,
Yes.
I mean, I'm the cinematographer of a web series called Ray Goots' Roommates, which is done by a friend named Ray Goots. Hi, Ray. He's an NYC comic. It's a very comedic web series. It's fun. We shoot it like once or two times a month, and there's like a bunch of episodes online now.
Right.
I'm also DPing 2 films. One is directed by Giselle Hyland, who's also an actor. Then I'm DPing a film directed by Mark Lang. And what else do I have going on? So we just wrapped production on Carlos Del Rosario's project, Losers.
Okay, that's
Your friend Carlos out. And that was co-produced by Zach Abramowitz as well. And a lot of the Nightwing cast goes into Losers as well.
Right.
So it's pretty funny how both of our worlds meld and everything.
Actually, the script that I just got done working on has a lot of the. It kind of doesn't predate.
It's like a prequel.
But it's like a prequel of Escalation. So you're going to see a lot of the same characters, and like the Penguin that we have as our friend has his own web series.
I also acted in Chris Clark's film. He plays the Penguin. Yeah. He's doing a film called Bird of Prey.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's other projects I'm forgetting right now.
Right. And like Abe's involved, right? Like
Abe, yeah. Well, Abe's going to be the Batman.
Really?
In his project.
In my project.
That's cool.
In my project.
Abe's a good actor.
Oh yeah, Abe's great.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I like him. He's tall. And that's one thing I know about Abe is he's tall. And he's
Is he really?
Well, I'm short, so.
Okay. All right. I mean, because I just remember episode 1 of Nightwing, like he's fighting this serial killer on the streets.
Yes.
This woman played by Mandy Evans Brown.
And he's like, I'm mixing him up with Zach.
Are you okay?
Okay,
really?
Never mind.
Or maybe you're thinking, I don't know who you're thinking of.
How would I have?
But the fans were saying, oh, Batman's short and he's skinny. What is this?
Well, the actress that played her, the Scalpel.
She wore heels,
and she was relatively tall. She was like 5'9", so.
Abe was like a Michael Keaton Batman. He's short, you know, but he's stuck.
Okay, I did get a little confused. Is Zach involved in this project at all?
In Nightwing?
Yeah.
Zach is co-producer, and he also plays a rising gangster named Antoine Rotelli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now he's tall.
I'd say he's tall. I have a feeling you're talking about Anthony, who's Superman tall.
Oh, no, that's
like
tall. No, but he's Superman. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. He is Superman.
He's a big guy.
Yeah,
right, Johnny? I can't figure out who he's getting mixed up with. But
no, it was Zach. It was
Zach.
I was thinking about Zach.
Bald head.
That's it.
Good looks.
Good looks.
Yes.
Good comedic skills.
Yes, good comedic skills. Yeah. He also can yell really loud and get intense. He's a great actor. He's a good friend.
Green Eyes. Yes.
Yeah, he was on Green Eyes.
That's right. He played the boyfriend that was abusive. Right?
He wasn't really abusive. I mean, the girl was hiding stuff from him, right?
Yeah.
Dasha.
Shame
your
on
daughter.
Dasha. Yeah. So.
Spoilers for Green Eyes.
So other projects or the future? I mean, you do photography. Like what types of photography do you do?
I pursue a much type of photography within reason. I mean, I'm not going to shoot like dead children or something, but you know.
But you do headshots?
I do headshots, glamour, beach photography, weddings, bat mitzvahs, events. Yeah, it's become something bigger. Again, going back to your point earlier, with the network we've crafted, I've met people in my field who have really helped me, and lots of models and photographers and other people that we're all just about helping each other, and we help each other get gigs and help each other on projects and shoots.
Indiegogo, does it really help a lot? I mean, do you get as much money as you think you're going to get on those shows?
We're going to speak candidly about this. I mean, the Indiegogo campaign, I think, was ill-timed because we did it, we launched it last fall, and we shot for 10 grand, and we only made like 3 grand. And when you don't make the amount you're supposed to make, they take more out of you.
Okay.
I don't want to slam Indiegogo. I know there's a lot of controversy with the Zach Braff Kickstarter stuff right now. But,
they're a multinational corporation. Yeah, I have no problem slamming them.
Well, okay. Well, I'll say, I mean, we didn't do that well, but other campaigns do very well all the time. Because Sandy hit right around the time they gave us an extension, but like, it's not like, oh, so Sandy hit, your house is wrecked, can you give us some money? That's how I felt at the time. It was like, it was a weird feeling. We did okay, and I'm very grateful to everybody you gave. I'm not taking anything away from what you gave to us. I mean, we're going to be using that money now, but like, we could have done better, and it's just bittersweet.
But I do like the Batman and Nightwing's, I mean, the uniforms that they were there. The
oh, yeah. Well, you see what we have for the next
what we
season.
have in store.
2 outfits
that's amazing.
On the way, for him, which is very cool.
Yeah.
So how many people, you said 1,000, over 1,000 people you have as
fans on the page, yeah. I think that really helped when, it was like late fall, around like I think we broke 1,000 like this year, but like it'd been rising for a while.
Is it international, or do you know where the locations are?
I think a lot. I mean, it's fairly international. I do think a lot of it is North America based, like Canada and the U.S. and such, maybe Mexico. But I mean, it's helped because we promoted it at New York Comic Con.
Right. Which we'll do again this year.
Right. I work for a national media company called Steampunk Studios with some really awesome people.
Right.
And when I'm working with them, they allow me to promote as well, because a lot of what I do for them is they're a performance troupe.
Right.
And they go to different conventions and stuff that deal in geekdom, like anime and steampunk and cosplay and all this stuff, so I'm able to give out flyers, and that's helped. Getting the word out, like a show like this, is also great too, because it just helps build more fan base.
That's good.
We have a built-in fan base. I mean, we knew that when we were going.
I actually have a couple of fans that really like.
Now we're seeing fans of the actual
awesome.
actors' interpretations of the character, which is great.
It must be great.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a mixed blessing as well, because you got those who love it, and then those who will bastardize it for the smallest little thing.
Right. Well, those are like, I guess there's so many comic people that are like
when you're dealing with
extreme.
When you're dealing with geekdom in general. I mean, it's definitely. I'll say this. It's definitely changed my perspective on fans as a whole, because you get to see every single different type of them, and we definitely have more fans than we have haters. But there are those that, and they say some pretty stupid things.
When you go to Comic-Con.
Yes, we go to Comic-Con.
What is it like when they come up to you and they?
I went this year. I filled in as Johnny. I wore the Nightwing outfit. I went with Maya Murphy, and Shannon Kendall was Catwoman and Black Canary. And they're very attractive women, and they're dressed in very attractive outfits. So a lot of it was like, the girls would go up to them, but then every now and then, girls would be like, "Oh, there's Nightwing. I want to take a picture with him. Go away, girls." And they shoot them. I'm like, "Okay, I got something here. This is good." But it's interesting. You meet. I mean, they're definitely like the types who like sneak a cell phone pic of someone's rear end when they're not looking and stuff. But you know, for the most part, it's a mixed bag with any type of people out there.
Do you wind up ever? I mean, do you find like you stay away from your fans, or do you intermingle? I mean, do you have friends who are your fans? Or,
sure.
Oh, you do?
I've actually made a couple of friends.
That's what I'm asking.
I've actually made a couple of friends that hit me up on Facebook.
We're very interactive with the fans. We love the fans on the fan page, and when they comment and respond to things, it's great.
But what happens when it's like 10 million of them or 10,000 of them?
I'll
let you know when I get there.
Yes, we'll let you know when we get there. I mean, we do get, we get a mixed reaction at times. I mean, there's some comments like, "Oh, I post a picture of a girl. You're gonna comment like that? You really have to say that?" Like, but okay, fine.
But I'll tell you, I really think that the people are very attractive that you have on the show. I mean, there's no question about it.
I'm sure they agree.
Yeah. Wow. So.
But wait, do you get any fans? Do you get anybody sees you on the street and says, "Hey"?
I do every now and then, but you know.
Do you interact with your fans as well?
I'd love to, but. You know, I'm not Nightwing. You know, it's really it's been a great interview, and it went really quickly.
It did.
And I hope, you know, maybe after the season starts, you guys can come back again.
Absolutely.
And we can have some more fun.
That'd be cool. I would love that.
So I have to say goodnight to you guys. So it's a wrap. Good night.